technology challenged financial aid, keeping it real version.
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope everyone is staying warm. As you can see, I'm bundled up in my office because it is freezing in here. But I am Jonathan Jordan, your host for today. And then we have my lovely co-host,
Christina Yoakum. Here I am.
Yes. So for those of you who may be new to Keeping It Real, this is an opportunity for you to come on, ask your questions, any questions that you have that are financially related. Make sure that you keep your questions general because we can only answer general financial aid questions because we want to make sure that we abide by FERPA rules and regulations to keep your information safe and private and for you. If you have questions about your specific account, you can always email our general email address at FAO, which stands for Financial Aid Office, .web, W-E-B, at tamuc.edu. That's fao.web at tamuc.edu. And so, again, this is a 30-minute session so that you guys can ask any questions that you may have. Christina has dropped the address in the chat. Hey, can you change the audience from all panelists to everybody else?
That would help, wouldn't it? Goodness gracious. It's the weather. It's just the weather. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. There we go. So if you'll notice in the chat, it's fao.web at tamuc.edu. All right. So to get started, our office is looking to implement a financial literacy program here on campus.
And Jonathan is going to post a question as a poll as a result of that concept of holding a financial literacy course on campus. We really feel like it would be beneficial for us to put out more information to help students along with their financial literacy as they go about their college career, because we do understand that, albeit it seems very easy to us sometimes when we are working through all the financial aid information with students, but it can be a very daunting task, especially for students, because it changes year to year, right? Every year you complete your FAFSA or TASFA, every year your awards can be different. And so we feel like it would be beneficial to offer a financial literacy course or lessons along the way. And we're wondering if you think that would be beneficial for you as well.
Absolutely. So I'm going to launch the poll now. And if you guys can just answer yes or no to that question in the poll, that would be great, just so that we can get some feedback and to see what you guys want as students and what you want to see coming from our office. Again, this Keeping It Real panel or webinar is an opportunity for you. We're doing this so that we can be so that our office is more accessible. We have a greater presence on campus. You guys know who we are. You know what we do. You know that our office is not the enemy when it comes down to, financial aid and things of that nature. We just have to follow rules and regulations that are set by the state and federal governments. Because one thing that I always say in this office, I am not going to federal prison for anybody because you do all of your time in federal prison and I will not be there. So we are bound by those rules and regulations, guys. So yeah.
We are. So remember, this is an opportunity for you all to ask questions. So don't forget to pop your questions. And we're looking for general questions, not specific to your account, unless you can make it very general. Just pop those in the Q&A box so that we can take care and answer those questions for you. We know that you have a lot of stuff, and we are in the midst of the spring semester, and we're really very slowly preparing to start pushing out more information for the summer terms. But we know that you do have some questions, and we do have one question that is going to be your fave, Jonathan. What is the easiest way to find scholarships?
So the easiest way, the easiest way is to make sure that you are an admitted student, which this session is for current students. But logging into the scholarship portal that can be found in your MyLeo account. There's a plethora of scholarships out there. I know for a fact 10 plus pages of scholarship opportunities that are available just here at A&M Commerce. Not to mention that we also recommend a lot of websites that are out there that you can use to find scholarships. And then also your local communities, check in your local communities, because those are the most underutilized scholarships out there. There are scholarships, money just sitting there waiting for someone to apply for. So that's the easiest way, I would definitely say, is to find scholarships is by logging into our student website. I mean, into your MyLeo portal, clicking on the going into the scholarship portal, and then applying for the scholarships there. So I'm going to go ahead and end this poll. It looks like we have 88% of our viewers that have voted.
Nice. And we got a very good response too, Jonathan. A really great response, because I feel like students think that there would be something beneficial in reference to that as well. So thank you all for really putting that information out there.
Yeah.
I did want to drop something into the chat in reference to scholarships. We've got a list that we generally give out to students of websites that we know have scholarship. They are basically like money managers for large companies, and you can apply through their websites for specific scholarships. So we know we've gotten money from Dell for certain students, from McDonald's, from Walmart, from the Gates Foundation. So, you want to just take a look out there and remember that you do not ever need to pay money to apply for a scholarship. Okay, it's kind of like with your FAFSA and your TASFA, you don't pay money to do that. We do have some other questions coming in there, Jonathan.
Okay.
The next question is, how do payment plans work for those of us who are paying out of pocket? Like, is it a monthly? Are you paying monthly?
So that really is a question for the Office of Student Accounts. The general information that I know about that, the way that they set it up, it's set up for monthly payments. I'm pretty sure that you can pay multiple times throughout the month if you haven't and if you're able to do so. But the initial payment plan, I do believe, is set up monthly, and it's set up in a way that you can have your outstanding balance paid off by the end of the semester or before the next semester starts. But for more information about that, you will need to contact the Office of Student Accounts. Their email address is student.accounts@tamuc.edu, and they will be the ones that would best be able to answer that question for you.
I'm just going to put that in the chat here real quick, because we like to see things. All right, and our next question is, do we have to have a specific GPA to apply for scholarships? Which is a great question. And the answer being, it depends on the scholarship, right? Most scholarships are very specific. They give you that information. You go to look at the details. And so you really just want to make sure that you are reading all of the information. That is one of the big things that we always like to hit on in our office, is that we know you do get a lot of email from our office, especially when you complete your FAFSA. From the very beginning of we've received your FAFSA or TASFA, and then you start getting all of these email about your financial aid. You really, really want to read those email. I know it's a lot. If you go through them when they come in, it will make things a whole lot better for you. If you have questions about them and something doesn't make sense, you want to reach out to our office and ask those questions, but you really want to read, because you don't want to waste your time, in this example, applying for a scholarship if your GPA doesn't meet the requirements, right? Because that's just time you spent when you could have been spending it on a scholarship that really you would fit right into. Okay, so just keep that in mind. The next question is, how do you find community scholarships?
So again, that would be your local community. So wherever you're from, say for instance, if you're from, I guess I'm
Wolf
not from
City.
Texas. Yeah, if you're from if you're from Wolf City, Texas, you would check there. You would check like the local chamber of commerce, or like do a Google search for scholarships that are in Wolf City. But I would check with the local chamber of commerce as well, because most things are posted or advertised through that particular office. If it's anything that pertains to the city, you can find out more information there. Or if they don't have anything, I'm pretty sure they can direct you in the right direction to find out about local community scholarships.
Great, great. Okay, next question. When attempting to view financial aid information in the MyLeo account, I'm getting session timeout occurred. So not able to access that info.
So
I know that that's been an issue for
it
some
has been an issue.
students.
So I guess my question would be, could you follow up with that and let us know, are you clicking a specific link within that information, or is it just whenever you click on financial aid information, are you not getting what you need? Maybe that can help us better assess that situation. And then if we can't answer your question, please email fao.web@tamuc.edu so that we can take a look and see, I guess, if it's a specific account issue.
Right. And sometimes it is a browser issue. I
Yes.
don't know how to explain that. Jonathan and I always claim that we're not super tech savvy, but sometimes it is a browser issue. So you might want to change your browser that you're using to look on your MyLeo. I know that you might want to refresh and start over again. You might want to clear your cache and start over again when you go in to look in your MyLeo. So there are all those little extra things that you can do before you get in touch with us. So restart, clear your cache, change your browser. Okay, all of those are good things to do. And then sometimes it's just a matter of getting in touch with our IT office and asking them for some assistance if you continue to get that timeout session. All right, so next question we have, I'm a parent, my daughter is in high school right now. Ooh, yes, way to go. You're following us on social media. Thanks, that's awesome. We received some paperwork in the mail about financial aid, but don't understand it. This is where you come. Fantastic. I think my best bet is to set an appointment with the advisor in her major or college. Is there a best time to do that? She will be a fall 2021 student.
Parents, we absolutely love that question. Thank you so much for, first of all, for following us on social media and then asking that question. But yes, that is perfect. If you already know what her college is or what her major will be, she does have a specific, your student does have a specific financial aid advisor that they can set up a meeting with. There's not a specific time that you have to. Just email, let them know that you want to set up a meeting, and then they will get that meeting set up, and you guys can chat and you can ask all of the questions that you need to ask. So yes, thank you so much for asking that question.
Fantastic. And if, let's say your daughter is College of Business, it's super easy, right? So you can send an email to FAO, which is always Financial Aid Office, as Jonathan said earlier, .cob for College of Business at tamuc.edu, or if it's College of Education and Human Services, it's a College of Humanities, Social Sciences, and the Arts, College of Science and Engineering. And then ag is, I think, the hardest one, right? Because it's the College of Agricultural and Natural Resources. Yes, Natural Resources. So it's CASNR. Is that it? But I love the question. Thank you so much. Okay, our next question. I'm in my first semester. Woohoo. I currently have a loan. When do I need to apply again, or what do I need to do for the fall semester?
Okay, so this is her first semester, or the student's first semester? Okay, great. So if you have not done so already, you would need to fill out and complete, you need to complete and submit the 21-22 FAFSA. That FAFSA opened on October the 1st. Now, I must warn you, if you have not already done it, the priority deadline was January the 15th. That does not mean that you still cannot submit it. You can still submit. However, students that submit by that priority deadline will be considered first for state and institutional grants that are limited. So that's a first come, first serve type thing, or awards, say for instance, like Federal Work Study or Texas College Work Study. So so any of the state and institutional grants, those students that applied and submitted prior to the January the 15th deadline would be considered priority. However, you can still submit. So make sure that you do that as quickly as possible, okay?
Mhm. And so I think, Jonathan, that you were really addressing that federal loan, and she didn't say specifically that, or the student, I'm sorry, the student didn't say specifically whether it was a federal loan or a private loan.
And so if you're talking about a private educational loan, Christy, help me out. A private educational loan, I think that you would have to apply for that each year. I'm not 100% sure, but I think you have to do that each year. And then you would have to get it certified through our office. So once you've applied for that private educational loan, you need to email fao.loans. So all of our emails start with FAO, financial aid office, .loans with an S at tamuc.edu, and just let them know that you need your loan certified for the new year. But if it's a federal loan, then that is all done through the FAFSA application. Once you submit it, then, and you have eligibility, then it will be offered to you, awarded and offered to you.
Right. All right. So here's our next question. Hello, I recently received a $1,000 scholarship.
Ooh.
The balance records in MyLeo Pay say the refund process just started. How can I get the refund? For example, I paid credit card 4 times, but all of them are with different cards. One's my, okay, this is a little more detailed than we need during this time. Will these cards be canceled? I'm gonna let you go, Jonathan, with your student accounts.
Yeah, so so we are money managers. So we, like Christy said, we are money managers. So we manage the funds, but we don't like issue refunds and all of that stuff. That's student accounts. So what you need to do is email the Office of Student Accounts, make sure that you include your CWID, and just let them know that you've received a scholarship and you want to know how will you be receiving your refund.
Absolutely. The next one is not really a question. Oh, I think this goes back to the individual that was having an issue with the website. With it just says all 4 links under financial aid info. So I think, again, we'll go back to just saying clear your cache, check, use a different browser. And then if you're still having issues, you can email our office at fao.web. Maybe that individual, whoever answers the phone there or answers the email, can help walk you through something. But you also might want to check with IT to see if there's a bigger issue someplace else. All right, we have another question. It's very long.
I'm sorry, before the next question, guys, if you haven't checked already, be sure to check the chat. There's some good information in there, good email addresses and websites, one for scholarships, and then all of the ones that we've been referencing. So the college advisors, and then student accounts. So check that out.
Yep. I am a transfer student and it's my 4th semester after I got transferred. I currently have a scholarship, but next semester I will lose my scholarship because it's only for 2 years. I had to change my major to electrical engineering last semester because I was in a different major, and my advisor told me, okay, hang on just 1 second. But while registering in the beginning, it was suggested, can I reapply for the scholarship or something, as I still have a nice GPA and have been maintaining my course load? Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead, and the question, if you were provided an institutional scholarship, such as a transfer scholarship, there is no application process for that. That is for beginning students, new students. So, you got that when you were awarded that scholarship when you first started with the university. You cannot reapply for that scholarship. If it is over and you've used it for the 4 long semesters, the best bet is to really jump onto the scholarship portal. because it's going to be closing pretty soon, and fill out that general scholarship application, and then check out some of those websites, or just Google, or use a search engine and look for scholarships. Again, keep in mind, you do not need to pay to complete a scholarship application. So make sure you're not doing that. There are some apps out there. MyScholly, SCHOLLY, has an app. And it was started by a college student who spent a lot of time doing scholarship applications on his cell phone. And so he started an app to help students have that availability to make it a little easier to apply for scholarships. So you might check that out. But yeah, those one-time offered institutional scholarships, you cannot reapply for. That's what I'm saying.
Before we go to the next question, I have another poll question. And so for those of you that have followed us on social media and that have been tuning in to our Keeping It Real webinar series, have you found Keeping It Real Financial Aid Edition useful? So if you could just, I'm going to launch this poll, and if you guys could just answer that, that would be great, okay?
Love it. Love it. That's great. Yeah, we always like to know that what we're doing is providing the information that everybody needs. All right, our next question. Transfer students with 120 attempted hours from community college, how does that affect eligibility for financial aid?
Christy?
So I'm assuming that the students coming in with 120 attempted hours, are they 120 earned hours? That is going to have some effect on your financial aid, right, Jonathan? Because financial aid is limited. There's a limited period of time. It's a pretty lengthy period of time that students can gain financial aid, right? Because you get to go 150%. So 100% would be 120 credit hours if that's your program, and then that extra 50%. So you just have to be really careful that the other courses that you're going to be taking here in A&M Commerce are classes that you need and classes that you pass.
And also to piggyback off of that, you also want to make sure that you've checked your loan and grant eligibility, because if you've taken 120 attempted hours, how much money do you have remaining? So you can actually check that out at www.nslds.ed.gov. And log in so that you can check out your borrowing history. We definitely recommend that you do that. It's www.nslds.ed.gov. Christy has just dropped it in the chat. To log into that, you'll be using your FAFSA login information, and then I think it's called manage my loans or manage my aid, and it'll give you all of your information and let you know how much money you've borrowed. And you also just want to make sure that you still have eligibility if you're transferring in with 120 hours.
Here's a really good question, Jonathan. Are there scholarships for certification programs? For example, principal certification for educators?
Those scholarships would be outside scholarships. None of our institutional scholarships would go towards the principal certification, as an example. It would have to be an outside scholarship that you find using some of the websites that we've listed.
And here's an interesting question. All financial aid are not scholarships, right?
That's correct. That is correct.
Well, there's grant money, which is similar in essence that it's not something you have to pay back.
Work study.
Work study. There's loans. So financial aid is not just scholarships. And I think that's why we kind of separate things, where we say we're the Office of Financial Aid and scholarships, right? Yes. Because scholarships really has a lot of detail along with it. Because if they're coming from outside, we note them as an outside scholarship, and sometimes they have different stipulations based on who the donor is. Sometimes even our donor-funded scholarships that are within our portal have different stipulations that have to be followed, and we do have a scholarship coordinator in our office that can help answer a lot of those questions for students.
For sure.
Okay, and let's see, the next question. I'm in the last semester. Wonderful. And an international student. Can I get any scholarships for this semester? Are there any opportunities for current time?
So the scholarships that are in the portal, the ones that are still there, those would be for the new award year. So 21, 22. And is this the last semester?
Last
This is,
semester.
yeah,
Mhm.
so unfortunately not. I know it sounds like we keep saying unfortunately, unfortunately, unfortunately. However, in that scenario, there actually isn't anything. You may want to double check with your college to see if they have funding available for you. I know that there is sometimes money set aside. Not to mention, you could double check with your college financial aid advisor, because I know that there are funds set aside. How, I'm not really sure if those funds will go to pay for a lot, but I do know that there are funds available that you could probably take advantage of. So definitely check with your financial aid advisor in your college.
Right. And with Jonathan and I not being able to take a look at your specific account, and this being an opportunity just to ask real general questions, it's a whole lot better for questions like that to be referred to your college financial aid advisor, because they can really take a look at your specific account and then maybe even talk to the concierge and academic advisors within your college. So next one, I'm in my second semester of graduate school here right after my bachelor's. Fantastic, but I don't think I've gotten aid for either this semester or the past fall. Is there something that has to happen on the other end for it to happen? It says something like I have to wait for the office, something. I did my FAFSA for this coming year, but will it be the same this time too? So I'm assuming I did my FAFSA for this coming year. You're talking about 21, 22. And so that's great. You just have to make sure that we've received your FAFSA, right? Again, you have to put our college, our university code in your FAFSA application in order for us to get it. We can't award you if we don't have your FAFSA or TASFA information. So Jonathan, I'm thinking that's a check with your college financial aid advisor to look specifically at your account. What do you think?
Yes. Or if you don't know who your specific advisor is, be sure to email fao.web@tamuc.edu to find out. But make sure that you've added our school code, because that sounds like something, yeah, specific. And if you've been here, you should have already received financial aid if you're eligible to receive financial aid. So most times it's always that people put big A&M, so Texas A&M College Station versus Texas A&M University Commerce. So just double check to make sure the school code is on there. If it is, then I would for sure reach out to my college advisor to find out.
All right, the next question is in reference to being an international student and applying for scholarships. The major is wildlife conservation. I heard a few days ago that I have a scholarship. Wondering when and how I can apply for scholarships related to my major. And again, that goes to our scholarship portal opens up, that you can find that in your MyLeo under the apps tab. It says scholarships. That's the donor funded portal, and anybody that's been accepted to the university can get in there and apply. Now, again, like I said earlier, it's going to close pretty soon because it opens up October 1st for the following academic year. So you want to make sure that you get in there and complete the general scholarship application. Once you've done that, then the system matches you up to other potential scholarships that match up to your information on that general scholarship, and they make recommendations for you. So you just want to keep checking back and making sure that you have done everything you needed to do, and if there are any recommendations within the portal. But also I would reach out to your financial aid advisor within your college. That's CASNR, FAO.CASNR@tamuc.edu. And that way you can have your advisor take a look at your account specifically. All right, our next question is, where can I download the recording of this meeting? Sorry.
So these recordings will be available on our website. They are recorded, and they will be downloaded to our website once this is over. Okay. So it may take like 24 to 48 hours, but it will be downloaded to our website and you'll be able to find it there. All right. So it looks like that we are at time. Um, thank you guys so much for voting on our 2 poll questions. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much for taking the time out to listen to us, and make sure that you follow us on all social media platforms. You can find us at TAMUCFAO on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. That keeps you updated with all of the information or all of the events and things that are going on in our office. We let you know about deadlines and things that are coming up with the university, so on and so forth. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. You guys are awesome. Make sure that you stay warm, stay safe, and have a great weekend.
Yeah.
I'm Jonathan.
I'm Christina.
And go Lions. Have a great
Go
day.
Lions. Thanks.